Hey guys, so my plans for today keep getting pushed back. So I decided, oh my gosh, there's stuff everywhere on the floor. I decided to make a video real fast about some stuff that's really been bugging me that's been happening lately. Putting aside everything that happened that I'm about to talk about, putting aside like the stuff that actually did happen, I'm gonna talk about harassment. So this isn't something that happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to me in the past, but I kind of forgotten about it because it really wasn't that bad. If it did happen. If it was bad, I would have remembered it, but I don't remember it, so I don't really think it was that bad when it happened to me. But the main point that I want to make in this video, I'm just going to say it right off the bat, is that harassment is still harassment, even if you're doing it to somebody who may or may not be a bad person. It's still on your record that you're being an asshole to people, despite what mistakes or choices they've made that may have been really shitty choices and shouldn't have been made at all, but that doesn't give you the right to be such an asshole to them. Like, this is such an easy concept. I don't even know how to rant about it because it is just so simple to explain and to understand that you shouldn't be an asshole to somebody, even if they're a bad person. And the whole thing that's brought this up is, I don't really want to bring it up because then I'll get a bunch of people hating on me too, but just, oh well. With the stuff that has been going on with Jason V1I do not agree with what he's done. I don't condone what he's done. I'm not saying at all that I think that he is making an okay choice. What he did was not okay. I'm just getting that out there. I'm not putting aside what he's done. It's still a bad thing. But that doesn't mean it's okay for people to go and hate on him so badly. Like, I understand that he made some mistakes that he needs to put right, and he hasn't put them right yet, but that doesn't mean that you can go on his page and constantly harass him to the point that all he's posting is, oh look, what a good place to die, and like, he's obviously in a bad place, and he's still a human being despite the choices that he's made, and I don't understand why everybody is just being an asshole. This doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, I do not think that what he did was okay, but that doesn't mean that it's okay to tell him to kill himself and to tell him that he should be looking at a jail cell. Like, even if it would be the right, even if that would be a better thing than what he has done, that doesn't mean it's okay for you to tell him to do that. That is not okay, and that is not what I want the human race to stand for, but that's all it's standing for lately, and it's pissing me off because I don't want to be a part of this anymore. The human race is full of assholes. And just... this is just pissing me off so bad. In case you couldn't tell, I'm just going off and off because I've been posting about this ever since it was released what he did and how much people are being so rude to him. And he posted a Snapchat yesterday about how his Instagram pictures, he just posted a bunch of Instagram pictures and they're getting so much hate, we should go send him some love. So I went to his Instagram to see how many people were actually doing that and to do it myself. And I couldn't find a single hate post, and that made me so happy. I almost started crying because nobody deserves any hate whatsoever. Nobody. Nobody. It doesn't matter what bad, shitty choices you've made. That doesn't mean that you can be shitty to them, because karma, I guess karma isn't the right thing to go here, but you're already gonna feel shitty if you've made shitty choices, so you don't need to make somebody feel shittier just because you feel that they should. And like, I just want humanity to stand for something different than hate. But it looks like we're nowhere near that point, because that's all people are doing, is hating. And I understand that I'm a very angry person, but I don't really hate... Like, I hate a lot of stuff, but it's not like the full power of the word. It's more like irritation. But when I've thought back, because of how I used to say I was a misanthrope, I don't know if I necessarily am anymore, because it's more that I hate what humanity stands for nowadays. And that's not that I necessarily hate humans in general. I just wish that they could understand that a lot of stuff that they're doing is wrong and shitty, and it's really not that hard to not be assholes to people. It's not. Like, I almost, like, I don't really know. I don't really, yeah, I'm all tongue-tied because I'm just so upset about what's going on. So, stop being assholes to people. It's really not that hard. Like, I was talking to my friend Sarah the other day, and by the other day I mean like 3 months ago, and I was just like, hey, can you think of anybody that I actually genuinely hate? Because I tell her everything. She knows everything. And she took a couple days to actually respond to that, and she was just like, no, I can't think of anybody. Like, she listed off a few people, and I was like, I don't actually hate them, though. Like, I'm just mildly annoyed by them sometimes, and it's only sometimes, too. Like, I genuinely couldn't think of a single person that I hate. So why do we hate on people? I don't know. It just pisses me off that we have such that crowd thinking. We learned about this in English a long time ago. We watched a snippet of a video from Monty Python about crowd mentality, and it was the part where they were gonna hang somebody, and then there was also like, see if she floats or whatever. I don't know, that weird scene. I've never actually seen the full movie, but it was talking about how as soon as somebody said something, the crowd just agreed and started hating just because one person said that. And I really hate that humanity has that crowd mentality, because I feel like we should be thinking for ourselves. And I live by this quote that if it's not hurting or stopping you from your personal pursuit to happiness, it's none of your business. That's what I live by. And so I understand that what he did was nowhere near okay, but it didn't have anything to do with me. So it's not my business. It's their business to figure out what to do about it. And it shouldn't be your business either, especially if all you're doing is hating on him, because I can't fathom how anyone can hate on somebody so much and see that they're in a bad place, and that they even have to get tattoos to remind them that it's okay to keep living because people are being so hurtful. And like, I don't understand. I just cannot fathom at all how anybody would be okay with doing that to a person. I can't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Basically, the whole point of this video, I touched on it in the beginning so that you would understand what I was talking about, but the whole point is saying that don't be assholes to people just because they've done a bad thing. It's in their place to redeem themselves from that, and maybe they can't, but it's still their problem, not yours, and you shouldn't be an asshole to them because of it. Harassment is still harassment, even if you're doing it to somebody who's made bad choices. It's still considered harassment, and you're still doing a bad thing. It might not be as bad as what they did, but it's still a bad thing, and that's not okay. Just be nice to people. How fucking hard is that? I really hope this video makes a difference in at least somebody's life, and they stop being an asshole to people for no reason. Like, even I don't be assholes to people for no reason. The only reason I ever got in fights is because I like to tell people facts. I like to correct people when they've said something that's wrong. I like to get people to understand that if it's not affecting you, and if it's not completely stopping your personal pursuit to happiness, then it's none of your business. I want people to understand that. And that's what gets me into fights, is that people have a really hard time seeing what I see. And it's just, like, I don't purposefully go out and pick fights. I just want to share knowledge, is all. I don't know. share opinions, share actual facts in a way that's civilized and won't get people yelling at you for no good reason. I'm just sick of seeing all this hate. I go through the comments on almost every single one of Jason's posts on Twitter, and there's always these people that are telling him just these horrible, horrible things that I would never wish on another human being. And even though I constantly am saying I'm ashamed to be human, it's because of people like them that I'm ashamed. Because if you can live with yourself after being such an asshole to somebody, like if you don't feel like shit after doing it, then there's a problem. Like, obviously Jason feels like shit for what he did. And it may or may not have been because people brought it up or he got caught or whatever, but he still feels like shit. And making him feel shittier is not the right thing to do. So, yeah, stop harassing people. Even if they've made shitty choices that I don't even agree with, that doesn't give you right to harass them. That's not okay. So yeah, stop being shitty people. Bye.